Welcome to this special Art Life episode, Ask Garibaldi. You asked, I answered. So by the way, this is my very first social media Q&A. I'm super excited. I will also be shouting you out all through this episode. You'll be seeing your names popping up here and there. And look out for your name, look out for your question. You send me all your questions via my Facebook fan page, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and now I'm ready to answer. Let's go. Oh, and please forgive me if I botch your name. I apologize. All right, let's get started with the questions from my Art Life family on my Facebook fan page. It's facebook.com/Garibaldi Arts. All right, so Alicia Larrabee asked, Reese's or Snickers? I mean, that is an obvious. But let's think about this. The Snickers is like a layer of all this goodness. It's got the caramel, the chocolate, it's got the peanuts inside, but then it's covered in chocolate, and that's amazing. But the peanut butter cup is an architectural feat to me. I mean, you've got the peanut butter is like wrapped around by the chocolate. It's like peanut butter being hugged. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. So Monty Miller asked, out of all the colors, what color is your favorite? My favorite color is actually gray. Like a medium to dark gray. And it's because it matches every other color. Chance and Leslie Wilson. She asked, as a kid or a teen, were you artistic, or when did you discover your love for art? As a kid, yes, I was always creating as young as I can remember, and that's not just drawing. I mean, I was drawing for a long time, but whether it was Legos, cars, or like acting out different characters around my house. I mean, my family probably thought I was really weird. They probably actually still think I'm weird, but creativity started at a very young age, and I just never grew up. Sharon Elizabeth Jensen asked, when did you realize your talent of painting? Who was your influence? Who gave you the idea to create the incredible way that you do? Now, I've been an artist my whole life. I actually didn't start painting legally per se, like not doing graffiti or anything like that, until I was 20 years old. I had a foundation though of years of advanced art school and classes, but when I was 20, I started teaching myself how to paint. I had some paint laying around, like just acrylic paints like this. I started painting in this little one-bedroom apartment that I had back in 2003. But the performance painting influence comes from one guy only, that is Denny Dent. I'm gonna put his name right there to my left. On my left, it'll be your right. Just an incredible founder of this genre of painting that I'm so lucky to be doing. Stephanie Domingo asked, when you decide to start a new portrait, do you practice the painting and the choreography first, or does it just flow? It's a little of both. I used to practice a lot when I had more time. I would practice sometimes from a day to weeks on just one portrait. Now I only get a couple tries at it before I gotta get it down. It's a mixture of both planning and also the art of just letting it flow. Tim McKercher asked, what has been your single favorite event you've ever performed at? My single favorite event, man, think about that. There's a lot. I do about 100 shows a year. I don't know, man. All right, I'll give you one. If someone asks me this later on, the answer will probably change. But for right now, up until this time, I had the opportunity to open for Sting, the iconic musician, in Paris, and I was actually opening up for him. The audience didn't know that it was him. They just knew that it was some sort of music icon. And I performed a portrait at the end, spun it around, and it was Sting's portrait, there, and they all lost their mind. This big sheet dropped on the stage, and Sting is just like standing there with his bass, just ready to rock it, and the place went crazy. And that was just, he was very cool backstage. I expected him to be an icon and brush us off, but he spent time with us, talked to us, and nice enough to take pictures like this one right here. Shout out to Sting. And thank you, Tim McKercher. Alicia Durham, you asked, what advice would you give young children who are artists? Those of you who are parents of creative kids or creative kids, the very first and most important thing, and I say this coming from the perspective as a parent now, is you've got to let your kids just kind of be free in their creating. If they show signs early on of being this child prodigy, definitely encourage them, get them in classes, but I didn't start painting like this until I was 20, which is the performance painting style, and it was a mixture of being an artist, learning music, and being into dance. And any one of those things on their own were great, but what I do now is a mixture of all my passions. Just have fun doing it. The greatest thing you have right now is the time to learn. You have time to take classes and do all of that. So when the opportunity comes to do a show or to get yourself ready for a gallery or however you want to present it to the world, you are prepared. And that is the best thing you can do right now growing up. Take as many classes as you can. Trish Tymecki, I hope I said that right. Where was your favorite place to travel? If you've been following me recently in the past year, you've seen that I had the opportunity to go to Cuba. And so far up to this point, that has been one of my favorite places. And I've been all over the world. I've been to every continent besides South America, which we'll be going to soon, and Africa. So up until this point, Cuba has been fascinating. Ariel Hicks asked, best meal you've had that wasn't in the US. And I've eaten a lot, probably too much on my travels. But on a trip to London, I went to a Joel Robuchon restaurant. It's in the theater district. I can't remember the actual name of it, but it had 1 or maybe 2 Michelin stars. And it wasn't that made it amazing. It was an amazing dining experience. We sat right near the kitchen, so you could see them literally creating this culinary art in front of us, and it was incredible. I think I had some pretty interesting street food in Mexico City. That's a little bit riskier, but it was still amazing. So thank you, Ariel. Nicole asked, what do you enjoy doing when you're not creating art? And I have 2 absolutely beautiful kids, Christy and Mia, right there. I love spending time with them. I love creating with them. I love just being with them every moment I can, because I do travel so much, and they are so patient with letting Daddy travel that when I'm not creating art, I try my best to spend as much time with them as I can. So, Jaden Avina asked, what is your favorite book? I've read a handful of books, and one of them, actually I'm gonna say a couple books because there's one I finished and one that I'm still working on, The War of Art. And I'll go ahead and put the book up right next to me. But The War of Art, it was fascinating because not only does it help me understand how I think of as an artist, but it also helps me understand of those that are on creative journeys and how they can push through boundaries that we put on ourselves and on our minds. And I think it's not even if you're just an artist, I think just an everyday person who's chasing a passion. The other one I'm reading, which I'll put on the other side of me, is called Originals by author Adam Grant. I'm only a quarter into it, but I'm already loving it. So if you see this, pick it up, and you might actually finish it before me. So The War of Art and Originals, check those out. They're my favorite books so far. Rose Mann asked, where do you pull all your inspiration from? And when you're down and out, what do you do to pull yourself, continue thriving, and to be the best person I can be? Well, it is no surprise that, life is full of ups and downs. Life is a journey. As all these go on, whatever that is, that we just keep doing this. A lot of times when I'm traveling, I'm alone a lot. It's myself and my road manager, or, I'm in my studio working a lot, and I've got to pull deep within. And honestly, I just think about the big picture. It helps keep things in perspective. I think about the amount of money that we want to raise to help people. The people who come to me, 6, 8 years after I perform for them, and they say, what you said inspired me. I know that there are real people, especially on the other side of this, even on the other side of the screen watching right now, that I want to inspire. And I want to see you live out your dreams, and I want to see you live out your passions. And so the more I remind myself of that through this gift of creating and painting and performing, I also have a message behind it in a bigger picture. And if you haven't found this purpose, this reason that's bigger than you, I think you should take some time, maybe step back and think about, what am I living for every day? What is pushing me? What do I want to live for? And that's a really important thing you need to ask yourself. And I continually ask myself that every day. So LaRose Man, great question. And hopefully I answered it.